ஓகே. ஐ திங்க் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் மேம். கேன் நீங்க இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ்
2
பண்ணுங்க.
minutes. 2 minutes.
ஓகே. ஓகே, ஓகே.
சரி போஸ்ட் மட்டும் பண்ணுங்க. ஸோ நீங்க 9:30, 10 கூட முடிக்கலாம் மேம்.
ஓகே, ஓகே.
இதுக்கப்புறம் இல்ல. அதனால நீங்க அது எவ்வளோ நேரம் வேணாலும் எடுத்துக்கலாம்.
ஓகே. அதான் அங்க எல்லாருக்கும் லேட் நைட்டா இருக்கும். யா நான் முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் சீக்கிரம் I'll try to finish
யா.
it early. Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
ஓகே. நான் ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம் இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் எடுத்துறேன்.
Okay, sure.
Good evening, all. My name is Seva and happy to welcome you to 1391st episode of non-stop book review session in Read Forte. For those who have joined us for the first time, we are an informal online book review group. We conduct reviews on books, articles, or any published concepts in the same link 7 p.m. every day. We encourage each one of you to use this space for self and others' growth. Coming to today's presentation, it is my pleasure to introduce Chitra ma'am. Today's reviews is about a book titled Thinking Fast and Slow. Let us listen to Chitra ma'am what author says in this book. Welcome Chitra ma'am, the stage is yours. Thank you. Over to you ma'am.
Thank you, Seva ma'am. Thank you everyone for joining. Welcome all of you to this book review. Thank you, Redford, for this opportunity. So I'll get started quickly. So this is the book Thinking Fast and Slow, written by Daniel Kanheman, who is a psychologist and he's a famous psychologist who has a great influence on a lot of people. And uh, it's very sad to know that last month he passed away, and it was a great loss. And give an to make it an honor and to give a respect, I wanted to read his book and share the teachings from his book. So let's get started. I'll quickly give a walk, quickly give you a background about author, and then we'll get started with a book. So he's Daniel Kahneman. He's an Israeli American author and psychologist. And the first thing to highlight about him is he has done a behavioral study on economics, and that had created a huge impact on the investment market and the financial sector. And that was a huge contribution from his side. And the main research and his study was that the economical decisions made by humans are purely most of the time are intuitional, and most of the time they are not rational decisions. And that finding about the uh, economics behavioral economics subject created a huge impact in the finance markets. And it kind of created a new perspective in the economical world. So that's why like many of them uh, are fans of Daniel Kahneman. And he's also known as grandfather of behavioral economics. And he has won Nobel Prize. Basically, he's a psychologist, but he has won Nobel Prize in economics. So that is a very surprising thing. And He has also won presidential medal for of freedom from when Obama was the president of the US. So these are apart from like Nobel Prize and the presidential medal, he has also won lot of um, medals and awards. So if you go like he has won so many awards that I can't even list here. So that is the impact he has made on our society, and I'm really happy that I'm able to share something from his research and study. And this is like a brief introduction about what research he has done in the economical side. So about the psychology of the human judgment and decision making under uncertain situations, and that created a huge impact. And so let's get into the book, what we are going to learn from the book. So before this, I would like to start with the question why. Why we need to read this book? Why do we need to learn about this two thinking fast and slow? Is something we want to know before getting started. The reason why we need to learn these two is like to understand how our brain works. This will help us to make better decisions in our life, because our this he talks about two ways of thinking, and these two ways of thinking are kind of works together, and uh, like they work together, and also they are not like two separate entities, but we are not aware of how it works. So this awareness will help us to make better decisions in our life, and that is the reason, that's the main reason. I think I would say that every one of us should learn from this book. So to start with, the first thing he starts with is he introduces us with two agents in our mind. One is system 1, another is system 2. System 1 is an agent or the way our brain works when we are thinking in a mode of thinking where our thinking is effortless and instantaneous. We can even say intuitional. It comes naturally for us. That is system 1. And system 2 is thinking slowly and putting a lot of effort in that thinking, trying to solve some complex logical problem, or trying to do some rational thinking step by step, which will take a lot of mental energy. So that is system 2. So we need to let me tell you this, like system 1 and system 2, there is no difference or impact in the biological level, but this is all something we need to know in a psychological level. So purely this is based on the psychological level and how the brain works. And our brain, from morning to evening, throughout our day, it keeps switching between system 1, system 2, system 1, system 2, or it can be in system 2 for a long time, then system 1 for a long time. So it is closely embedded, and you cannot like just say, like you cannot just take it apart. So it all works together. But just knowing these two, and that will help us like to understand when we are in this system 1 state and when we are in the system 2 state, will help us to understand how we are how our behavior is currently and how we are making decisions. So that is the interesting part. And you can just think about it like two agents with different abilities and functions, and also some limitations. And this is not to say that like system 1 is better or system 2 is better. Both are very much necessary for us, and both have their own role to play in our brain. And only difference is in which situation we apply system 1 and in which situation we apply system 2. That's what makes the difference in all our decision making. So there is no hardcore rule, but it is all about with our own understanding and our own uh, perspective and understanding about the world and the situation. So let's get little more deeper into this. Just look at this particular image of a woman. When you look at this image, what is your instant reaction or instant thought that comes in your mind? So maybe I'll let someone to share, so we can make it little interactive.
She's shouting, ma'am. But
Okay, got okay, ma'am.
She's cheering in a football game.
Okay, okay. Thank you for sharing, ma'am. So, like
I
when
think
we
it
look
is a surprise. It
surprise,
is a
okay,
surprise.
okay. So, like in like this, when we all of us got a reaction, this thing did not come like with a conscious thinking. It naturally came with our own perception of the world. So this doesn't mean that everyone will have the same reaction to a image, but this comes with our own perception of the world, and it is very instantaneous. Like we did not think, okay, what this would be like. So that is like automatic reaction or the non-voluntary or natural way of response that we get. So that is when we are in that mode. That is what is the system one mode. And let me quickly share. So okay, for me when I look at, I'll also share mine. When I looked at this woman, I felt that she is angry or like shouting at someone. So that's what for me it came. So that is like depends on everyone's instant reaction. And let's come to before this slide. I'll come to this. Okay, let's look at this particular problem. When you look at this, uh, what is the answer for this problem, mathematical problem here? Are you able to calculate this value in your mind? And would you like to share the answer? I know it's very hard because I mean it's a little bigger number to we need to involve our mental um, workings, memory space, and do this. Ah, yes, Annamalai sir.
408.
Okay, okay,
408.
okay, sir. Was it easy for you, or did it involve any mental effort, Annamalai sir?
Relatively easy.
Okay, okay. So you are really great, very great at maths, sir. So no, I'm just telling like, yeah, generally, it was easy for you, but for many of us, it takes a lot of effort for us to calculate this number in our mind. So this needs like effortful mental calculation, complex calculation. But this is relatively simple. But there are a lot of things in our life which involves much more complex calculation. So let me go back to the first one, this slide. So now, so to give you a few more examples of system one, system two. So this is like a system one thinking. When you are talking to someone, when you're detecting the voice or hostility in the voice, or like, so that comes naturally to us. So that is also system one. When I ask you what is two plus two, so this also we never go and calculate it. It comes naturally, and we say 4 as an answer. And when we are driving a car in the empty road when there is no one, we don't need to put so much of mental effort. We just do it naturally. And also like understanding very simple sentences is also very easy for us. So in this state, in these situations, we will be definitely in system 1. And to give you some more examples for system 2. For system 2, when we are trying to park a car in a very narrow space, we will put a lot of conscious effort to make sure we are parking, we are not like we are within that space and not bumping into the next car. Or when you want to buy some washing machine or some product for your home, you will be doing a lot of analysis, comparing the products value and everything. So this will definitely be system 2 because it involves a lot of conscious effort. And when you're filling out a tax form or you're checking the validity of logical statement, so these all are like examples for system 2. So basically this is a difference between system 1 and system 2. So the system 2 involves lot of attention, it demands lot of mental energy. And like when you're especially when you're learning something new, it takes a lot of mental energy to bring your attention and understand uh, new thing that you're trying to learn. And it also involves lot of effort and it takes away lot of working space. And it also involves lot of effort in bringing your focus and concentration. And let me take you to one more quick thing. Like if you are going for a walk, when you are going outside for a walk and you're trying to have a leisure thinking, you can always have a leisure thinking while you're going for walk, because walking will take some amount of mental space. While you're walking, like you need to be aware of the environment. And the leisure thinking, you are thinking about something, and it will take some amount of mental energy, but still you can do that. But we'll take another example. You're walking with a friend and you're asking your friend to solve a math problem, like asking him to say what is 19 into 83, something like that. So he will try to solve that problem mentally. So if it takes a lot of mental effort, he will literally stop walking and then he will try to solve, because that is the kind of mental energy we might put in lot of situations to solve complex problems, which is so effortful that even you will stop walking and thinking to solve that. So and I'll give you one another example. There are sometimes there are situations where you will get conflict between system 1 and system 2. So in this exercise, I'll ask you to do this exercise to call out these numbers. Sorry, call out these words, and you should not read the word what is written here, but you just need to say whether it is lowercase or uppercase. So if you try to do this activity, uh, maybe I'll give you. Anyone want to try this activity?
No, what is the exercise?
Sir,
What to do?
we need to read the. You just need to say whether it is written in uppercase or lowercase. For example, the first word we need to say lower because it is written in lowercase. So let me. Yeah. Anyone wants to try? Seva ma'am.
Yeah, it is first one is lower, then upper, then lower, upper, again lower, upper, lower.
Okay, ma'am. Good, good. So, thank you for doing this, Seva, ma'am. So, you know that there was a little bit of conscious effort involved here, because when the word is written as upper, and the actually we need to say it as lower. That's activity is making us involve our mental effort, conscious effort to tell it according to this. So, since the word is also written in upper and lower, like our system one naturally goes and says it is upper, but when we want to say, according to this exercise, we want to tell this word as lower, but our system one like puts a friction that it is upper, and then we take little more effort and then we say lower. When so that effort is what is needed for going to the system 2 thinking mode. So when we, for example, if I just read here without I'm sorry, ignoring this activity, if I'm just reading it, whether without this activity, whether it's uppercase or lowercase, it's very easy for me. Upper, lower, lower, upper, upper, lower, lower, upper. So so in my system one, I do it very easily. But in system two, I take a lot of effort. And this example, what we are talking here is to see the conflict between system one and system two. So you have to put some extra effort to sorry, yeah, we have to put some extra effort to make us say the correct answer, because system one is naturally making us tell the what word seeing on the screen. So this is an interesting example, and these kind of situations you can relate to where your system one and system two are in conflict, and it makes it harder for your system two to process the information. And I'll give you one more example. So this is a do you think these two lines appearing on the screen are of same length or different length, and which is longer? So if you see this naturally, when I look at this, I could feel that this is longer than this line, but this is what my system one says. But if you look at it little more closely, these two lines are of same length. Because of the illusion, we are seeing the first line is longer than the second line. If you want to give a little bit help for you to see the length, I'll show you the next slide. You see this? I've just drawn two lines to show you. These two are of same length, but without having these lines, if you see that, definitely for us as a human, because of the illusion, we always feel this is longer than this. So this is called as visual illusion. The same way, we also have lot of illusion in our thoughts. So the author calls it as cognitive illusion. We have some illusions that are beyond our control. So when you have those illusions, it's very hard to say whether what we are seeing is really uh, true or not, right? So that is the interesting part. And when it comes to cognitive illusion, it always like we miss a lot of things, which really creates a great impact in our life. So um, we will learn more about those illusions. So this is a very good visual illusion. Yeah. Sorry, somebody was saying. Okay. Okay. Let me go on to the next one. Okay, so now let's come back to system one. Yeah. So when will we go into the system one? So whenever we are at cognitive ease. So for example, these are very good examples. I took it from the book, the snap of this one, like the repeated experience that we have in our life, or clear display. Like when you look at something, if it's very written clearly, easy for you to read, or when you're in a very good mood, and what it happens is it creates an ease, and then it makes you feel very familiar, and feels very true and effortless. So that puts us in a cognitive ease. So that is when we will naturally be in our system one, and also like the way we think also will be in the system 1 in a cognitive ease. And if we go to the system 2, it involves sort of cognitive strain, because first thing is you are putting lot of efforts to concentrate or bring your focus to think about a particular problem or a situation, and also you are deliberately trying to, in some examples, like whether you're studying or you're doing something new, you have to put a lot of willpower, and deliberately you have to control your attention. So that is why it involves a lot of strain. And there is one exceptional state, we call it as flow state. I think this is from another psychologist, and he has quoted about that book Flow in this book. And that is the state where we will be like in the effortless concentration, where you are not putting so much effort to bring your attention, but you're still spending a lot of effort on solving a problem or focusing on the thing you're doing, but you are not spending a lot of effort on bringing your attention to that. You are very much focused and you are in a flow state, and you also enjoy that process. So that is when you reach that flow state. But until you come to that flow state, you will definitely have to go through a lot of cognitive strain comparatively. So that is involves the efforts, and the two efforts are like one to concentrate and bring your and control your attention to stay on that subject. And let me show you one example. One I'll just show you one small clip from a movie.
அந்த அண்ணா நகர் சைடு கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் பார்ட் முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. பெயிண்டிங் தான் முடிவு பண்ணணும். நாம ரெகுலராக யூஸ் பண்ணுற பெயிண்ட் இருக்கு. ஆனால் மார்க்கெட்டில் இந்த பெயிண்ட் புதுசாக வந்திருக்கு. அவங்க ப்ராமிஸ் பண்ணுற குவாலிட்டி கிடைச்சா நமக்கு பெரிய ரிசல்ட் கிடைக்கும். எந்த பெயிண்ட்டை செலக்ட் பண்ணலாம் நீங்கள் முடிவு பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா ஒர்க் ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாம்ப்பா.
சஞ்சய்,
அப்பா,
புதுசில் ரிஸ்க் வேணாம், பழசே ஓகே பண்ணு.
So this was an interesting scene where they are trying to take a decision, a business decision. The son comes and asks his father, "What can we try this new product?" But he says, "Let's go with the old one. We don't want to take risk with the new one." The reason why he took that decision is like if you would have seen that movie, in on that particular situation, he was already going through a lot of cognitive strain because of thinking about his son's future, and he has gone into a depleted state of all spent all his mental energy. So he was not able to spend more energy in a being in a system 2, and he just went with a system 1 thinking intuitively, and said that let's go with what the old product. So this is one example I wanted to show to try to explain the state of depletion. When we have spent a lot of time in system 2 with cognitive strain, we will reach a depleted state. So at that state, whatever decision we need to make, we will be more impulsive or intuitive in system 1. So why we want to know about this depleted state is, like this is the situation in our life where we take sometimes a lot of small or big wrong decisions. Like for example, when we are completely in a depleted state, though we have a diet plan, or though we have a strict workout routine plan, we might end up eating overeating or stress eating, and also we might also end up purchasing things or spending impulsively at that particular situation. If we understand this, we will know that okay, right now I'm in really a depleted state. I will not make any decisions, or at least I will not make any huge decisions in my life. So that is kind of impact this will make. So it's always better to know this depleted state, which will help us in our own life. And second thing I want to talk about is the law of least effort. Our brain is always tuned to take the least effort. Like we humans want least effort, and our brain also wants least effort. So it likes system 1 more than system 2. So that is something we need to be aware of, so that we can bring our mind to a different uh, process of thinking from system 1 to system 2, if that situation needs system 2 thinking.
அந்த அண்ணா நகர்
Okay. Coming back to, let me show you one more quick example. If you look at this image, I'm telling you that this bat and ball cost totally $110, and also that bat is $100 more than the ball price. So, what is the answer? Um, I think you all have the answer immediately, right? Do you want to share anyone?
Yeah, it's 105 and $5, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. You're right. But you said the correct answer, but instantaneously, I solved this problem as $100. The bat price, ball price as $10, and bat price as
My
hundred
price is
dollar.
100.
But that was instantly this answer came for me with the system 1 thinking. But they said that was not correct answer. Then again I went back and tried to solve it. Like you correctly said the answer, ma'am. I think you put a lot of mental effort and solved it. Thank you. And so the actual price is $5 of the ball, and 105 is the batch price. So this is not just with me. I think not with any of. This is not like just for me. Many of us, we immediately come to an answer as $100 without looking at it. We know, we are confident this is going to be $100 only. But when we slow down, we find that the answer is different. So that is where the
Teacher,
system
just
one.
FYI, this was an interview question for me for a job in India.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
And this is they instead of bat and ball, it was sari and blouse. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. How were you able to answer, ma'am?
I got it. I see. Since then, I've seen this question many times and different contexts, but I was able to answer in the interview at that time. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, but if
Okay.
you're going for interviews, remember this. Very likely that you will be asked this question.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah, I think you have given a lot of thought and consciously found the answer without just like telling it upfront. I think you took a lot of cognitive effort, and then you came to the solution. So thank you, CPMM, for sharing that. So yeah, this is, and also like I've heard this kind of similar questions in exams, interviews, like UPSC, and a lot of interview questions are like tricky. So making us, trying to check whether we are like in system 1 or system 2. Like maybe that is what they are trying to check in that interview questions. So this was an interesting example, and yeah. So from this, what we are trying to, what we have learnt is, for in system 1, we first conclude with a decision, and then we try to find the argument. Most of the time, this is what will happen. We first come with the conclusion, and then we try to bring our arguments. And also, this you can apply to different scenarios in life. Like you might be believing something, so intuitively you will take a decision, and after that you will try to bring your arguments. So that's what will happen in system 1, because system 1 is obviously effortless and natural way of thinking. And I'll give you one another example. There is a coffee machine in a building, and whenever you take coffee, like they have put some off honest box, honesty box, and you can pay some amount for taking that coffee. Nobody like I mean, it's just like a honesty box there. You can go and pay for it, and they have put some suggested price what you can pay. So they tried studying this, how people respond. First, they had a flower picture in on top of the coffee machine. So they studied how much people are contributing in that situation. After that, sometime they changed the image as this person, like a person looking at you when you are standing in front of that, and they also studied how much you are paying in that when that image was there. Then they found that interestingly, when this eye picture was there, people were contributing more amount in the honesty box, and that was the interesting finding. And the reason is like when intuitively when we are in the system one mode, when you're seeing this image, we always feel that somebody is watching, and we want to be like accountable or we want to be an example, so we put more amount in that box. So that is where that difference really made. And the person who was putting that money did not take any conscious effort how much like uh, in this, like naturally whatever he felt he would have dropped it and he would have gone. So this is how the system one works, and this is a good example to learn because our system one can make us think in different way in different situation. The same system, when you see a flower, it makes us behave in a different way, and when you see a image of a person looking at you, it make us behave in a different way. So that's a very interesting example to understand the system one. And with all this understanding, we have lot of things to learn from with all. Once we understood the system 1 and system 2, now we have lot of things to learn how this really impacts us. So first thing I would like to say is about the bias of confidence over doubt. Sometimes we are so confident and we are not we a particular situation, and we might be biased but still we are very confident because of the system 1 thinking. But if we give a little more thought in a system 2, we will also have some doubts. So but most of the time we will get biased of the confidence. And another best interesting example I can say from halo effect is like if I like someone, like any be it like a leader or a role model or someone whom I like so much, there is a halo effect. Halo effect is nothing but when I like someone, I cannot see the negatives of that person because I'm maybe a fan of that person or I'm a follower of that person. I cannot see the negative of that person. So this is called halo effect, and this can be opposite as well. When I think about a person in a negative way, that will block me from looking at the positive things about that person. So that will work in both positive as well as in negative direction. So that is called halo effect. That is the illusion of understanding. I think that I understood like this person is bad. So whatever good things they do, I will not be like I will not appreciate. I know this person is bad. So that is kind of a negative impact. And if I look at another example of positive impact, this person will not do this. Like this person is so good. Like we will have that halo effect, and that will cause a lot of illusion of understanding. And and another thing is like the narrow framing, and system one always puts us in a narrow frame, and we will um, just go with the intuitive thinking with a very narrow perspective. But when you come to the system two and slow down, take some mental effort and analyze the things, we can go into a broader framing and broader perspective to look at lot of other things. So the interesting thing, when I listen to a lot of his authors talks as well, he says that most of the time we always caught up with a very narrow perspective and a very narrow thinking, and we are unable to think in a very broad perspective about situations, and that is because of the limitation of the system one. So we need to train ourselves to think in a better way, and to make ourselves think better in a system too. And uh, um, yes, Shripriya ma'am.
Um, this just one quote on this narrow framing, right?
Yes,
So, like when I believe it was Albert Einstein, he said like when I'm given an hour to solve a problem, I will think for 50 minutes about the problem and 10 minutes about the solution, right? So basic, I mean, there are a lot of people related to IT here, or either dealing with people in IT or working in IT, right? Most of the times you've seen that we in haste we reduce the scope of the problem, right? We don't consider many implications and all that. So this narrow framing, like I didn't have a way to explain this to my team or whatever, but this narrow framing gives me a phrase to say that correctly to the team. So thanks for that, Chitra.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, this narrow framing is a very interesting term. We can have this like a reminder for us. And well, let me come to this one also, like the experience and memory. So, two things he talks about is experience and memory. Experience in life, like when we are going through some things in our life, the one part is we are like how we are open and how much we are observing the things happening around us. That creates the experience more richer, and the memory. Once that experience is done, you will have some memory about what happened. So that depends on how we perceived, and how we have uh, thought about that situation in our memory. That could be either positive or negative, and that memory also makes a huge impact of our happiness or sadness or whatever feeling that we have related to that experience. So, example, like if I'm going for a vacation with my family, and I would have had a very great time with them, and if I am really present in that moment and being aware of everything, and I'm experiencing that thing very openly, observing everything that's happening around me, and then uh, how I perceive that situation, that will also get into my memory. When I recall about that happy moments with I spent with my family in a vacation, having a lot of laughter and fun, so that memory will also increase that happiness. So this can be applied to any negative situation as well. So here, like I want to relate this very much close to the concept of mindfulness, where lot of times the experience we do not experience it fully, uh, because we just don't observe the things more fully, and we don't experience it mindfully. So a lot of so the memory also doesn't get registered for those experiences. So that might involve a little bit of cognitive mental effort, or like the being present in that moment might involve a little bit of cognitive effort, but that will make a huge impact on your happiness in the life. So that is one thing he says. And one regarding the skill building, I want to highlight one more point regarding skill building. When we are trying to learn a new concept, when let me go back to the system to yes. So, when we are trying to learn a new skill, the learning process is going to be very much hard, which involves sort of cognitive strain. But once you keep doing it multiple times, and what will happen is at one point it will become very much automatic for you. It comes naturally for you. That will reduce that cognitive strain. So, example chess players. If you take example of very good chess players, once they have played so many matches and they have reached to an expert level, when they look at the chessboard, they know what is the next move they need to know. Literally, without even thinking, they can take their next move because they have played so many times and they know like what move I need to make now. And that is an example of chessboard. So that cognitive strain will reduce for that player who has become an expert. So this you can relate it with some skill that you are trying to learn. Once you have learned it well, you put a lot of effort and you have learned it well. You gain that skill. After that, you become an expert of that. So and for example of my life, like I am not a very natural speaker. So when I am speaking with all of you, I'm in a system too because I'm putting a lot of cognitive strain and trying to see how I can convey this particular message so that you will understand the concept. So once this particular speaking is a skill that if I keep doing it multiple times, maybe at one point it will become something effortless and more easier for me. So that is one good example for the system too. And coming back to the chess thing, what interestingly, when I listened to one of his talks, the author's talks, he mentioned about this chess thing in his talk as well. He said that chess is a game where at one point you will come to know all the moves. But if you apply that to your life, in our life, we will not know what situation we are going to face in our life. It's not like a chessboard will have only this many number of moves. But in life, we can never restrict that to the situation that we are going to face in our life. So at any point, we have to bring in lot of effort in system two to solve those situations or handle those situations. So that is the interesting part he mentioned. And
அந்த அண்ணா
okay, so coming here to conclude, so these are the things we learned based on our understanding of system one and system two. These are the things we learned. Now, how we can go back and apply in our life is noticing us when all we are in system one, when we are in system two, and then can we try to put some effort? Should we go into system two and give it a thought? Should we slow down and give it a thought? Or for this particular situation, it's okay to go with system one, just the natural thing what you are thinking, and we need to make that decision and understand this. Finally, at one point, like we will be very much aware when we are in this state and when we are in this state, and this awareness itself will make a huge impact, and it will help us to make better decisions in each and every situation in our life, and especially our big decisions in our life. So this was the takeaway from this book, and I loved this book, and I hope these findings also helped all of you. And now let's open the forum for everyone to bring their thoughts, and we can uh, start discussing. And thank you so much for giving your time and listening to me. Thank you so much. It's an honor for me.
Thank you, Chitra ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation. So all your PPT was very nice, and the exercises are very good. Thank you, ma'am. So please,
Thank you.
everyone, give a applause for Chitra ma'am.
Thank you.
For feedback, please raise your hands according to the order I will call you. Annamalai sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. I have a copy of this book,
So,
and you have done the job of reading it for me. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Mm, this system 2 in course of time becomes system 1. The example learning a new skill. I very much remember when I first learned driving, it was so anxious the few days. 3 pedals are there. God has given me only 2 legs. God can't even foresee that man will make a car with 3 pedals. Better to give him 3 legs. Like that and all, I was thinking 3 days. After the third day, I am not even aware when am I changing the foot, when I am increasing the accelerator like that. See, that is a very beautiful example. And the other concept, we take decisions, financial decisions emotionally. This concept was proposed by Edward Devon also long back, but I do not know who published
Yeah.
it first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He
Uh,
has
he,
quoted about Edward de Bono as well in this book. Yeah.
I see. Okay, okay. Yeah, he cites the example. Suppose I want to buy a car. One day suddenly I see one flashing car and I decide I am going to buy this. And then I rationally think all the points to justify my emotional decision. See, that is how we presented it.
Correct.
Mm,
Correct.
other
Yes, sir.
examples, other examples, and all very simple. And thank you. It's an interesting book. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annamalai sir. Vivekanandan sir, your feedback.
So good evening to good evening to all. Actually, so it was a wonderful presentation, Chitra madam. Especially, I started reading this book. Especially, you were explained like what is system one and system one. So how what is willpower and how we are emotionally connected with the decisions and all the points which you are covered is really wonderful. I mean, it's induced me to read the book, the complete book, and so we have to implement in our life. So that is ultimate, right? So
Yes.
so I will I will read the book and I will implement all the points. Okay. Thank you very much,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
Thanks for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Weekend.
Thank you, Vivekanandan sir. Anybody else for feedback?
Yes, I'm Gunashekaran. Yesterday, I listened to the talk, even though I came a little bit late. It is giving a lot of information regarding how we make decisions. For example, most of the time, our decisions are unconscious. So, hereafter, we need to be conscious about our decisions. That is the lesson I have learned. For example, many times we scold somebody, we take some buy something, and after some time we think, and we immediately we come to a conclusion. Why I should not have done this. Something like that we think. In the history, I would like to quote one example. Whenever the Akbar, Emperor the Great, Akbar the Great, he will order some person, hey, kill that fellow. Immediately, those soldiers will take that fellow out. After some time, when the emperor cools down, they will bring the same fellow again. Your Highness, you have ordered this fellow to kill him. Shall we execute the orders? Then Akbar will say, no, don't execute, leave him. So when he's emotional, Akbar he has given standby command. When I'm talking emotionally, don't execute any orders. That is the order given to his subordinates by the Akbar the Great. So likewise, we do the same thing. We are not aware of it. Most of the time, we are not aware of it. We are thinking fast. We want to make decisions very fast, and finally we end up with some troubles, and we feel sorry for that. So that should not happen. So that is why I came again for this talk, but I came a little bit late. No issues, but it's a good, wonderful book. Everybody should read. and at least they should listen as many times as possible. I thank Chitra ma'am for giving this, taking this book for presentation. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, Guna sir.
Thank you, Guna sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else for feedback?
Just quickly, Chitra, thank you so much. You made us to think a little long and hard about our own decision making. So it is good to know, like, uh, I think with the author also, one of his thing is about watching our own behavior and how interesting it can be, and how much learning you can gain from watching your own behavior than anybody else's, right? So very nice. Thank you. Another great one from you, Chitra. Congrats.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for bringing your personal experience as well. It was very interesting to know. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else for feedback?
Hi, this is Malini. Thank you so much, Sidra. I just wanted to mention this thing. I joined late. However, the inputs, whatever you have given, it's amazing. One thing is that interview question which Shastri Priya ma'am has resolved. That's true. Even I calculated it as 110 for that bat and ball thing. Uh, Actually, I was waiting. That is the answer. You said that our mind is used to do the lazy thinking. I was waiting. Okay, somebody will resolve. Even after she has said the answer, I was not going back and thinking what is wrong with my answer. I was okay. Somebody will resolve, and I will listen to it. Then, when nobody has resolved, like how that is 105 and 5, then only I started thinking and resolved by my own. So I understood like how lazy my thinking is, and this book is a must read. I should go back and read it, and you made it easy for me to read and understand it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mali, ma'am. Yeah, all of us will come up with that answer as 100 immediately, because that is how our brain is tuned, and we cannot avoid that, but we can just be conscious and try to do the solving again with our conscious effort. So thanks for sharing your experience on that, Malini. Thank you.
Thank you, Malini ma'am. So anybody else is for feedback? Shivakani ma'am, please.
Chitrama, good
Yes,
night.
ma'am.
Session was very interesting. To think how to calculate easily like that, brain is thinking whether your presentation shown to us, we people are think, and also that bat and ball example also, we to decide like one not five, not five like that. Your session was very interesting, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation and good PPTs. Super, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivakani ma'am. Thank you, Chitra ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation, and that lower case, upper case, as you said, on seeing it is very easy. When I started reading out, the written was different, and the case, the letters, we have to take a time to read it. So the exercise was
Yes,
very
ma'am.
good. Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you. It was a good
trying that
exercise.
out and reading it out, ma'am. And thank you so much for
Thank you,
hosting.
Chitra ma'am.
Thank you.
So I'm ending the session, ma'am. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Chitra ma'am, once again.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. We'll meet again with another interesting book next month. Thank you so much. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.